as I was saying, we still have many, many millions, tens of thousands, millions, billions of Africans in the depths of the oceans that couldn't make it to the United States, that died on their way. We still have many Black Africans who will never know the joy to be a father. Many Black Africans will never know the joy to be a mother, or many billions of Black children will never know the joy just to be alive, only because of not only because of the slave trade, because of what America did to Africa, and which means that we cannot be. That's why we have to give all of our attention to. We have to you first have to settle our problems, the things among us. We first have to fix our situation. It's not that I hate like white women or the other. No, I do not hate them. It's only that it's logical and natural that I be more attracted. And even if I was not, that I give priority, that I prefer Black women. That's all. It's natural. Let's continue.
Want to point out the hypocrisy within the Black community, all right? Because it's a lot of hypocrisy. Now, I'm happy I'm not a follower. I did like a lot of YouTubers in the past, and many of them I still like.
Yet again, Crystal, hypocrisy is something like it's not natural. Let's say it's something that exists that in amongst all the races. It's not because of the fact that you saw hypocrisy in some Black men or Black women that all of a sudden you would think you would just reject them, because you will find it everywhere, everywhere.
Or whatnot. But I do want to talk about this. Now, I remember somebody calling Phil out in one of Cynthia G comment sections when I used to watch Sin around a year ago. And the person said that Phil's wife was a white woman. And how can you be pro-Black and interracial dates? Which, let me just say, that seems to be more important to Black people than the actual elevation.
It is not that it is more important to have a Black wife. It's not that it's more important than the actual elevation. Actually, it's part of the elevation. It's absolutely a part of that process of elevation. Why? Because when you are a public figure, you become like an example for many millions of other young Black people. So you have to be an example, you have to be a model. When you have basically that film influences millions of Black children, and I guess you really have our interests at heart, but the fact is that since he actually is a model, many young children will be growing, seeing him like a figure father. They'll be trying to do as he does. And having a white wife is not a model. It's not a model because actually many young Black children will be growing up thinking that the other races like us, because actually, as you perfectly know, they don't like us. Absolutely, and which means they will have a tendency to repeat the same mistake, to repeat it. And guess what? The very first person, apart from the fact that actually a white person, a white Latina cannot really love a black man or a Black woman. Apart from that fact, consider also that it means that there will be generations of young women that probably won't be able to have a husband. Why? Because many the young Black boys that were supposed to be their husbands or boyfriends were influenced by the example set by Phil, and which is the example that they followed. So if you are a Black public figure, you have to be pretty much, let's say, perfect. Nobody can really be perfect, but there are some basic things. There are some that you cannot how can I say, that you cannot be exempt from.
Of black people. Black people interracial dates seems to be more important than actually rebuilding black families.
Yes, how is it possible? How can you even dissociate the rebuilding of a black family from the necessity to date only black women? How can you dissociate those things? Is it even possible? Crystal, now you are not being reasonable. The two things go together. Building back black family is a process that entails the necessity, the absolute necessity, to give the priority to prefer black women. Actually, I do believe that for a man, duty is even more important. Is more important than love. What does that mean? It means that if you're a black boy, if let's assume that you're a black boy, you are a public figure. Let's assume that you couldn't find a black wife. Do you know what you have to do if you are really a man? Just stay single. Yes, Crystal. They have to stay single until the time when they will find a black lady. And let's see. Actually, it's not like there is a how do you call it? There is a lack of black ladies. There are many of them. Let us continue.
It's rebuilding, the black community. So it seems like we care more about different races and laying up with them than ourselves, okay?